Did Trump lie to voters and crush the average citizen in the process? Did he promise fairness, then turn around and build a system where insiders win first and the average people are forced to fight over crumbs? Now, before you say, "Here we go, another hit piece." Even though this is a rock-solid case that any opponent of Trump could use to prove Trump is every bit of a swamp creature as Nancy Pelosi, at least on this one issue. I'm a conservative, but I don't want conservatives to be caught off guard when an intelligent lefty brings this up. And I want conservatives and Republicans to not get so caught up in the speeches that they forget to hold Trump accountable for promises made. If you stick with me for 3 minutes, I'm going to walk you through a timeline so clean a fifth grader could follow it. And once you see it laid out, you're going to understand why this doesn't look like helping the average person, and how even a best conservative debater will not be able to win a debate on this issue. I'm not asking you to hate Trump. I'm asking you to look at the receipts and tell me if this looks like keeping a promise and looking out for the average voter, or if it looks more like a play for more power and more money. I'm a conservative, being honest about a huge wrongdoing by Trump. So hit the like button on this video now, because this type of honesty is rare. Hitting the like button on this video helps to get this message to other people that like you, like unbiased stories that tell the truth and hold everyone to the same standards, even if the wrongdoers are on their side. And remember, no matter what side of the aisle you are on, we have a bigger issue we are facing, and to make things better, we need we the people on both sides to be the solution. Let's be clear, the bigger issue is that politicians on both sides are known for two things. 1, saying what you want to hear, and 2, doing what benefits them once they get power. But Trump's entire brand was, "I'm different, I'm already wealthy, I won't even take the salary, I'll drain the swamp, I'm not like them." And that's why people tolerated the mess. The trade-off was supposed to be honesty and results. But now we are staring at something that's the opposite of drain the swamp. Because Trump is now tied to a conflict of interest that is so obvious, even his opponents don't have to be great debaters to win the argument. And before we even get into the theory, let's talk about the facts and the money that's already on the table. By now, many of you have heard complaints about Trump and illegal crypto gains, but because the cries have been so incoherent, lacking context, and not put in simple terms, that 80% miss the entire story. So let's review this in simple terms. Major reporting has estimated that Trump family crypto ventures have already produced more than $800 million, and in some tallies approaching $1 billion in cash income in a very short window. And that's before you even get to whatever personal trading, positioning, or private deals individual family members could have made that never shows up on a public receipt. So no, this isn't just politics. This is real money tied to a president inside an industry he now has unprecedented influence over. Now let's walk the timeline, slow, simple, and in order. I'm going to do this with facts and no jargon. You're going to hear one name a lot, CZ. That's Changpeng Zhao, the founder of Binance, one of the biggest crypto exchanges on earth. And here's the part people skip when they talk about him, like he's just some crypto celebrity. In plain English, CZ admitted guilt because Binance wasn't following basic anti-crime money handling and anti-money laundry rules, the kind of rules meant to stop criminals and sanctioned actors from using the system to move dirty money around. And it wasn't small. Binance paid about $4.3 billion to settle that US case, and CZ personally paid a $50 million fine. Now here's the part most people don't connect. Even beyond the criminal case, civil complaints tied to CZ Binance have sought around $1.8 billion in stated claims. And that's before you even count some consumer loss lawsuits where damages aren't cleanly totaled in headlines. Fifth grader translation: this isn't a parking ticket. This is big problems, big money, big consequences. So when you later hear Trump pardoned CZ, you should already understand why regular people look at that and go, how does that help the average guy? During Trump's campaign to get back in office, it was easy to see two clear tone shifts: friendlier to crypto, friendlier to the crypto industry. That matters because the president can influence enforcement priorities, regulatory focus, and what gets fast-tracked. And in crypto, what gets prioritized becomes what gets profitable. Then you've got World Liberty Financial, described in major reporting as Trump family-backed, connected to a stablecoin called USD1. Stablecoins aren't get-rich-quick coins. Stablecoins are the rails. People use them to move money, trade, park funds, and avoid volatility. Now here's the magnitude that makes regular people's eyes widen. USD1 was reported around $5 billion in supply, and reporting said almost $4.5 billion of that was sitting on Binance. Translation: if USD1 is a $5 billion pile of digital dollars, Binance is holding almost the whole pile in their warehouse. So in this story, Binance isn't just an exchange. Binance is the highway. Binance is the warehouse. Binance is the faucet. Then comes the Trump meme coin. And here's why this matters. Major reporting estimated Trump family-connected entities made at least $336 million from sales of the meme coin. And early reporting also described the coin generating close to $100 million in trading fees during the frenzy, all while many small traders got hurt as the price tanked. The fifth grader translation: if regular people were buying lottery tickets, somebody else, the Trump family, owned the lottery machine. Then the last domino: Trump pardons CZ. Now you can have your own opinion about pardons, but you cannot pretend the optics don't matter. A president tied to crypto ventures pardons a major exchange founder, while almost $4.5 billion of a family-linked stablecoin is now heavily concentrated on that same exchange. That's the timeline. Now let's talk dollars and incentives, because factual incentives, that can all be proven, don't lie. This is where I want you to stop thinking like a fan and start thinking like a business person. The meme coin was built to do one thing fast: pull attention. Attention brings volume. Volume increases price. Volume generates fees. And fees flow to whoever controls the pipes, launch structure, liquidity, and early positioning. It doesn't need to last forever. It just needs the crowd to show up long enough for founders and insiders to liquidate their positions at the best possible return. So this covered the immediate desire for upfront cash. This is where the Trumps made at least $336 million. The long play is the stablecoin. It's boring by design. If it becomes widely used, it becomes infrastructure. And infrastructure doesn't need hype every day like a meme coin. It just needs adoption and distribution. And this is where Binance comes in handy. Here's the quiet part out loud. Stablecoin regulation can pick winners. And so far, this is the only crypto regulation that has been put in place. Because rules decide who can issue, what counts as reserves, what audits are required, what oversight exists, and who gets locked out. So if your entire family and a major percentage of wealth is tied to a stablecoin issuer, you don't get to pretend regulation is neutral. Even if you mean well, the advantage is built in. And now we get to the fork in the road. I'm going to say this clearly. The conflict of interest in each of these steps are facts. The potential corruption is a theory. And now here's the part I'm going to label as speculation. I'm not claiming I have the private messages. I'm saying the timeline and incentives make a certain explanation look way too clean. Hit the like button on this video now if you agree. And before you say you're a conspiracy theorist, let me ask you this. Does it make more sense that Trump's main priority was protecting the average investors? So stablecoins got prioritized for months, even though the industry already had reliable stablecoins with many years of working just fine. And his family just happened to be building a stablecoin issuer at the same time. And it just happened that USD1 got concentrated on Binance. And it's the same exchange run by the same guy Trump later pardons. And all of that is just coincidence? That's option one. Or does it make more sense that all this was done with planning? Here's the theory. What if CZ wasn't just a random name in the timeline? What if he was the inside the plumbing guy and involved in architecting all of the Trump moves from the beginning? In simple terms, if you want your digital dollar to become big fast, you need a giant store to carry it. Binance is that store. It's like getting premium shelf space in Walmart and Costco at the same time. So in this theory, CZ doesn't need to own the stablecoin. He simply needs to continue controlling distribution, liquidity, listings, and access to millions of users. And if you're Trump family crypto and you want USD1 to look huge and become the default, the smartest move is to stack a massive amount of the supply on the biggest exchange you can. Which is exactly why the $4.5 billion on Binance detail matters. Not because it proves a crime, but because it makes the partnership logic obvious. Their success becomes tied together. USD1 needs Binance to scale. Binance benefits from being the main highway for USD1. And if the whole plan works, the thank you in this theory is simple: a pardon that takes CZ's legal risk off the table and restores his freedom and reputation. So the question is, Are we supposed to believe this was all random, or does it look like the meme coin was the cash engine, the stablecoin was the power engine, Binance was the distribution engine, and the pardon was the political capstone? I'm not telling you it's proven. I'm telling you it fits the incentives too well to ignore. And that's why people shouldn't trust the "this is all for the average American" story. Because average money launderers don't get a pardon. Mainstream crypto market that 85% of the people are using hasn't had regulations prioritized. The average person is left to deal with market manipulation, major market volatility, and a speech. So what makes more sense? I'll let you decide. I'd love to be wrong. If this theory is wrong, it should be easy to kill. The Trump team would need to show the funding sources, show the relationships and terms, show the timeline clearly. Transparency kills bad theories. But if this theory is true, or even close to true, then average American citizens got crushed, not just with money lost, but with gains they missed, opportunities taken away from them, time wasted that they will never get back, and a market being kept without regulations that stays artificially depressed. While regular people wait, while the insiders continue to eat first and plunder the little guy. And what makes this worse is the promise. Trump didn't sell himself as just another politician. He sold himself as the guy who was different. So if he's now tied to the same conflicts and possibly a bigger money and power grab than the people he criticized, then the betrayal isn't about crypto. It's about a lie. Here's the only thing I'm asking you to do. Don't let Trump or any politician make a big promise, then erase it by going silent after they get a massive personal win for their bank account. That's the oldest trick in politics. Say it loud in campaign season, get the votes, then act like you never said it. Unlike the people that voted for free buses and free daycare, the crypto community didn't ask for free stuff. They didn't ask for handouts. They asked for fair rules put in place in 2025. So regular people can invest and build without getting undercut by political connections and financial insiders. And whether you're into crypto or not shouldn't matter. This is about accountability. If an elected official promises something that's needed, fair, and realistically doable, then the public has every right to keep bringing it up until it's done. So don't let this become another promise that dies from silence. Keep the pressure on, keep the receipts moving, keep the question alive. Because the conflict is documented, the corruption is a theory, and the damage is real, and continue until he decides to keep his word. How much urgency he feels, that's up to us, we the people. One standard, no free passes. I want to hear your thought on it. Was this the first time you heard about this? Was it the first time someone put it in simple terms? Do you believe there's a conflict of interest? Hit the like button now, subscribe to the channel, and share this video because the truth spreads faster with your help.